Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and welcome to our track and race helmet overview. This video is just an overview. We have in-depth 10 to 20 minute videos on all of the helmets that you see in front of me. So if you want to go deep dive and talk about tech functionality and really geeky details on these guys, be sure to go to the product page and watch a video that's there. It'll be a dramatically deeper dive than what we're going to do today. But for right now, I want to detail price ranges and your options if you're a track day rider or you're a racer. You know, after this stage of the game, what really your range of helmets that are going to do really well by you on the track will be. So jumping right in, what you need to know about a track helmet is there are a few things. It's meant to be lightweight, it's meant to be extremely strong and extremely protective, and it's meant to be comfortable, as well as being aerodynamic. You have to think there are a mix of extreme application factors, extreme styles of riding, high speeds, high propensities for extreme crashing. Then you have the other factor, riding on the track or racing is a very active thing. So if the helmet's not comfortable, if it doesn't wick your sweat, if it doesn't cool you off, if it's too heavy, if it doesn't fit right, if it's not aerodynamic enough, you're not going to be able to concentrate and be in the zone as a racer. And what's going to happen is it's going to get you out of your element. The last thing you want to be doing is 150 miles an hour thinking about that your helmet's giving you a pressure point or a hot spot on your forehead. That's how you get in big trouble on the racetrack. You need to be thinking about your turns, your mechanics, and your form, and going from there. So let's jump right in here. I'm going to briefly once over all these guys. I'm going to talk about weight, I'm going to talk about ventilation, I'm going to let you know who's wearing these in the racing world, and then from there we're just going to kind of move up the food chain. So let's start with the baby in the bunch from a price standpoint. This is one of the newer helmets, the HJC RPS-10, 2 years in development from HJC, being worn currently in MotoGP by Ben Spies. What do you need to know about this helmet? It's 3 pounds 6 ounces. It's the second lightest helmet in this lineup. The other thing is it's a round head shape. So for those of you guys that wear Nolan, for those of you guys that like the HJC fit, the RPS-10 is going to do a phenomenal job at fitting you well, being comfortable, having a lot of race level options, having slight wing on the back. Notice the vent configuration is very much built out to be in the tuck. All of these helmets will follow that same form. You're going to have a great rear wing here for stability and downforce, and it's going to be a quiet helmet that will vent really well and do a lot of things well. Snell 2010 on this guy. Moving right along, we have the Shark RSR2, worn by Randy Dupugnier in the MotoGP circuit. 3 pounds 7 ounces. Very quiet, very aerodynamic, flows a decent amount of air. The helmet shape, what you need to know about the Shark, $444 starting point on this guy. Longest oval shape in the mix. This is going to fit like an Arai profile. Long, thin face, long, thin head, front to back. This is going to be your helmet. This is the most pronounced long oval. Great helmet, 3mm shield. Shark has been doing a lot of things really well. They're based out of France, $444. Like I said, 3.7 pounds. Moving down the line, the AGV GP Tech. You notice this graphic. Every motorcycle racing fan knows this graphic. AGV sponsors Valentino Rossi. The GP Tech is the helmet that he wears. It's a helmet at $529 starting price point. Notice this is the Continents graphic. It's a little dated. Valley's wearing the Faces graphic right now as we shoot this. This helmet will do a lot of things. Comes pin lock ready. The guts are beautiful on it. Has a nice line to it, but not a really pronounced spoiler in the back. The rear ventilation, it's quad vents in the back, brow vents on the front. It's going to do a great job. It's ECE 2205. It's not Snell rated. It's European helmet. AGV is Italian. They're Valentino Rossi's helmet of choice. So that stands on its own merit. 3 pounds 7 ounces for the AGV GP Tech. Moving on to one of the newcomers. A lot of folks right now don't know how great of a helmet that Belle is making. This is the Starr. The Starr has been around since 2007. They re-released the Starr in 2010 with a completely different fit, and it's going to be Snell 2010 as well. 3 pounds and I believe 9 ounces for the Starr here. Starr's beautiful helmet. I have one myself. Josh Herron's wearing it. Has this great rear wing, has a trick strip they call it, that's adhesive, that over 140 miles an hour dramatically increases the downforce on this guy. Vents, exhaust vents below the strip. You have great chimney vents. You have a top of the brow vent here. The shape on this guy is going to be slightly rounder, but also intermediate in the same level as many of the helmets in front of me. So as far as round goes, it's not going to be as round as the HJC, but it is definitely rounder than the GP Tech, the Shoei, and the Arai, which I'm going to get to in a second. Other thing I want to notice about this helmet is that it's extremely stable at speed. The aerodynamics are really great for head checking, and the fit is, as I mentioned, slightly rounder. It also, you can get a transition shield for this guy. It'll go dark smoke in the sunlight. It'll be clear indoors. It's UV activated. It's transitions lenses. It's the best photochromatic shield that's on the market today, and it's available for the Belle Starr. Didn't note the price. $549 is the starting point, and they have a $599 They have a $599 carbon fiber version as well. Moving on down, the Shoei X11 helmet. Brand new for 2010, Snell 2010, redesigned, wider eye port, uses the CW1 shield system. Notable things on this: long oval head shape. This is the most compact shell size of any of them that we have here, so it's going to be a tight fit on and off. See, notice the oval here, extremely stiff. Notice these red pull tabs. They're emergency cheek pad releases. So if you go down, if you're unconscious, if they need to get your helmet off, the EMTs that is, they can pull these tab, cheek pads come out. Arai pioneered it, Shell got on board, or Snowy got on board, Shoei, how about Shoei? Shoei got on board this year. Ventilation's solid, it's gonna be reasonably quiet. Notice the profile of this guy. Big rear wing on this guy, which is new for this year, redesigned over last year. Great downforce, going to do a good job. That's from Shoei. This is actually the heaviest helmet on the table. These are all race helmets, so they're all light compared to other helmets. It's 3 pounds, 10 ounces for the Shoei. Last but not least is the best helmet that's on this table. It's also the most expensive helmet. I didn't mention the Shoei starts at about $615, $620. This helmet's going to start at around $690. This is the flagship. This is the helmet that racers wear when they have orders or they have offers from other helmet manufacturers to wear their helmets, and they say, no, actually, I'd rather pay for an Arai because I know that that is the top of the food chain. It's the lightest helmet on the table, 3 pounds, 4 ounces. The most ventilative on the table. It has a movable rear spoiler, rear wing you can see on here. The way that this thing is designed is phenomenal. I mentioned with that Shoei that it's got the pull tabs, quick release for the cheek pad system. Everything's washable, removable on all these guys, but the guts of this helmet are just beautiful. This is the 3rd iteration in Arai racing helmets. The predecessor to this guy was the Arai RX-7. Locking shield mechanism. The side pods, people had a tendency to say they were windy on the previous model. What they've done, they've added noise dampening foam. The side pods are here to be aerodynamic. The noise dampening foam dampens the noise and keeps the decibel level low at very high speed on this guy. Talk about the ventilation. So you're gonna have chin vent, 2 position, either on the shield or on your face. Top of the head, you have 2 chimneys here that are gonna flow air. 2 rear exhaust vents here on the Corsair 5. My favorite thing on this helmet though, and I'll tell you the truth, is that you'll see it. So we have 2 eyebrow vents here. With this shield up, you're gonna notice these eyebrow vents, they don't just shoot air onto your forehead. They shoot air into these scoops. What does that scoop do? It channels the air to your temple. Where does it go from your temple? It goes down a ridge inside the helmet that you don't feel. It basically sucks air from your temple along the back of your ear. It follows an artery, which is a hot spot on your head. Cools the blood, cools the top of your skin, cools the hot spot. The air flows down along the back of your ear and it exits along the winglet. It's also one of the most stable helmets. This helmet's just beautifully designed all around. Arai, I know the guys at Arai really, really well. I've been wearing their helmets for a long time, and they always say to me, they say, Anthony, we don't design helmets for price points. We design helmets to iterate on what we've already done, what we know works, and we know what's going to be change the game from either a performance, a technical, or an aerodynamic standpoint, and then we figure out how we can get it to market and how we can keep the cost reasonable. So that's your overview. That's 6 helmets from $315 to starting at $700 for the Arai that you could take on the track and be comfortable, know they're going to be safe enough, stiff enough, aerodynamic enough. It's really how much of an investment do you want to make in your head, in your comfort. How often are you at the track? What level of racing do you do? If you have any questions about these, start on those helmet pages. Each one of these pages has an individual video for these helmets. From there, if you're not sure, if you narrow it down to 1 or 2, you need help fitting, call us, 877-792-9455 or cs@revzilla.com via email. They're all over $39, so I'll ship for free. If you get the wrong size, send it back to us. We'll ship you the first exchange for free as well. We do that. We try to make it as easy as possible. These are hard to, sometimes can be very difficult to identify your perfect size over the internet. We're here to help you out. And the last thing is our loyalty program. Any of these guys are over $100. We offer up to 5% back in TeamZilla cash towards your next order for every 100 you spend. So whether you're spending $300 and getting $15 back, or you're spending $600 and getting $30 back, transfer us to your next order. It's our thank you. Take advantage of it. Guys that buy helmets at this level typically need gloves, boots, jackets, suits, the whole 9. We hopefully allow you to save some cash in the long haul when you're buying things to keep you on the racetrack. My name's Anthony. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time on RevZilla TV.